You're listening to the Spark Radio Network, Internet radio like you've never heard before. Innovation, creativity, and imagination are all said to begin with a spark. So fasten your seatbelt and take the ride of your life and listen for the spark.
You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
Hey, this is John Preston, Marine Combat Veteran and Pacific Records recording artist. Just reaching out to have you check out our new album, Battle Cry, Songs of America's Heroes, an album featuring phenomenal other combat veteran artists like Scott Brown of the Scooter Brown Band, Ryan Weaver, Rowdy Johnson, just an incredible mix of people. This is all veterans telling our stories and our lives, and we're giving 100% of our proceeds to the Valkyrie Initiative to help veterans and first responders integrate back into society. I myself have battled with post-traumatic stress for many years and lost my own brother, a Marine Corps veteran, to suicide. I ask that you step with us and make this happen. We are in pre-order right now and release on March 17th. Go to iTunes, go to Amazon, buy. We plan on making the charts and making it at a very high level, and your support right now makes a difference. This is the release of my new song, Superman Falls, which is actually about the loss of my own brother, which happened last year, and I would love for everyone to check it out, to listen, and hopefully it'll make a difference in many lives.
If you're 85 or younger, would you like peace of mind and comfort for your family? We're Final Expense Direct with an urgent message for you. The average funeral today costs over $8,000, but the most you'll get from government benefits is $255. How will your family pay the difference? We can help. Our senior plans start as low as just $1 a day and pay up to $30,000 for a funeral and other final expenses. Peace of mind is easy. There's no medical exam. You'll have lifetime coverage, and your plan can't be canceled as long as you pay your premiums. Call now for free information about our senior plans. Answer a few simple questions and receive approval right on the phone. Plus, call right now and we'll give you a discount prescription card for free. Call 800-553-8687. That's 800-553-8687. Again, 800-553-8687. 8687.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it. There to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
Sometimes riders feel lost, unsure why a passage may not be working. It takes another set of eyes to help us nurture our writing into full maturity. At Black Wolf Editorial Services, we strive to enable writers to develop and grow, offering manuscript critiques and line edits through a mentoring editorial style. We also offer assistance on generating a writer's bio for your websites. Black Wolf Editorial Services, nurturing your writing into maturity. For a full list of services, visit blackwolfeditorial.com.
Here's George Foreman with InventHelp.
Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? Do you have the same questions? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp has been helping inventors for more than 30 years and has sales offices nationwide. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas. If you have an idea and want to try to patent it and submit it to companies, you should call InventHelp today for free information.
Listen, I can't guarantee a company will be interested in your idea, but I believe every inventor deserves the opportunity to step into the ring and take their best shot. Put InventHelp in your corner.
To get your free inventor's information, call 1-800-353-6490. That's 1-800-353-6490. Again, 1-800-353-6490.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
You're listening to the Spark Radio Network, Internet radio like you've never heard before. Innovation, creativity, and imagination are all said to begin with a spark. So fasten your seatbelt and take the ride of your life and listen for the spark.
You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
My name is Jessie. I'm a United States Special Forces widow. This gives me a unique perspective on the world around us. If you're willing to listen, I'll tell you how I see it, and I won't pull any punches. This is my POV, which stands for Point of View.
All right, it's Jessie. How y'all doing out there today? You know I miss you when we're not talking. Now, I know I dropped a best of last night. Why? Well, I had some other stuff flying around that I had to take care of. I do my darndest to be with you, but every now and again, stuff just gets in my way. All right. As always, there's a lot going on in this world. Yes, oh yes, there is. So, first, I got a couple of announcements. Don't I always just have a few? Well, I gets them. KLRNRadio is going to be changing just a little bit, folks. Trust me, we'll still have all the shows you know and love. Promise. Promise we'll have all the ones you know and love. But I've heard there's some new ones coming. So, keep an eye on the schedule. It's always cool to check out the new show. What can I say? It's always cool to check out the new show. All right. Moving right along. There was no Operation Inherent Resolve brief this week. Why? Real simple answer. It's the military. The guy's on leave. And while there's probably a secondary person, they're just not covering it. So, I do have some stuff for you, but it isn't as rich as I normally like to bring. So, what can I say? It's just going to be one of those. It'll be interesting. I do have some audio for you. Oh, I do. I do. I know, I'm being goofy on air tonight. What can I say? What can I say? So, now just as a reminder, my show's on iTunes, Google Play, podcast.com, Blueberry, lots and lots of places. Now I'm trying, but I haven't got there yet. I'm trying to get over to iHeart. Yeah, I'm trying. So, there's been a lot of chaos. There always is. The lunatic in the north is just plain whackers. Yeah. He's quackers. In fact, I think that's his new sound effect every time I mention him. I've gotten so I'm trying to play a little more with the sound effects. Do me a favor, let me know, leave a comment. Tell me whether you like it. I love getting feedback from my listeners. And I know most of you listen via Memorex. And I love it when you do. I love it. I know you're out there. So, I know you're there. Because I see the numbers. You're listening. Which makes me feel good. But I don't do this show for numbers. Well, it's always nice to have the numbers, and I wouldn't be here without you. But I do it because I enjoy it, and I want to help you stay informed. Someone shot me an email going, "Why do you do this? It takes so much time." Well, I do it, one, because I love it. I also do it because I want to share my knowledge and love, my fascination with the military and all that stuff with everybody. I don't want to keep it all bottled up. And this is my way of making sure I can pass along some of the information I know. And I enjoy also helping other people have a bit of a platform. Because as you know, I will often turn over my microphone or invite on quite a number of guests. Gotta say, doing that interview with Kirk Lippold was fantastic. I can't wait to have him on again. So, it'll be interesting. Very interesting. Now, so what has been going on in the news? Well, as I mentioned, we're going to start off with North Korea. Now, just as a reminder, there's a lot going on in South Korea, too. There is a lot going on in South Korea, too. Oh, and we will be ending the show tonight with taps. Because the casualty was announced yesterday, but since I dropped a replay, I'm going to read the official notification from the death of an airman. and I'm sure she will be missed by her friends and family. And for those of you who are new to the show, every time the Department of Defense puts out an official casualty notification, my next show, I read the notice at the very end of my show and close on taps. All right. Now, what else do I have for you besides me just shooting my mouth off? We're going to set North Korea aside for a minute. Yeah, I know. I started with North Korea. We're going to talk South Korea. Yep, we are talking South Korea. There has been a lot going on there, too. The Seoul ferry is one step closer to finally reaching port. This is the ferry that sunk, and a number of people, mostly high school students, died. And the captain is spending life in prison because he didn't make sure everybody was off the ship before he and his crew said, we're out of here, we're saving ourselves. So it is a 6,800 ton ferry, and it's now on a barge or a transport of some kind. I'm guessing it's some kind of barge. And it was more than 300 people that perished. But there are 9 families that are still hopeful, because there are 9 bodies that were not found. So they raised it out of the water, and they are taking it back. They'll be searching for, begin clearing mud and debris, searching for the remains of missing victims. An investigation committee will also search for clues that could further explain the cause of the sinking of the ship, which has been blamed on overloaded cargo, improper storage, and neglect. And as I mentioned, the captain is serving a life sentence after a court found him guilty of committing homicide through willful negligence because he fled the ship without issuing an evacuation order. Now, ousted President Park Geun-hye was president when this happened. She was forced to defend herself against accusations. She was out of contact for several hours on the day of the sinking. Allegations that were included in an impeachment bill lawmakers passed against Park in December amid, of course, the corruption. And as we know, she's gone. So, because while she was formally ousted, in December it took a few months for their version of the Supreme Court to get its act together and make a ruling that it was legal. And that just seems to be the way of Supreme Courts, folks. I don't see that changing. All right. Now, North Korea did successfully test the rocket engine. Rocket engine. Not the rocket, just the engine. And that is a step forward. It's the kind of engine that could power an ICBM. However, their actual missile launch, not so much, folks. Not so much. So, it was kind of one of those fail was more like this than a launch. Alright, so let's talk about it. North Korea's latest missile launch ended in a failure on Wednesday. And that is according to both U.S. and South Korean militaries, 3 days after the North claimed a major breakthrough in its rocket development program. The reported launch failure comes as the North is angrily reacting to the ongoing U.S.-South Korean military drills commonly called around here Eagle Foal, which is their name. No, I'm not telling tales out of school. It's printed in the freaking newspaper. The name of the exercise is not classified. Some of the details that go on, yeah, they are. But the Eagle Foal, the name of the thing by themselves, no. That is not classified. So, in fact, I will probably do an Eagle Foal update. So, because I find it interesting to see what they're doing. Alright. I get the updates from the military press releases and videos. No, I'm not talking inside baseball stuff. I am talking stuff that they have cleared for release. Okay, I wouldn't do that to my military soldiers. Alright, so back to the launch. Obviously, North Korea was trying to send a message. We don't like it. Stop it. Now, there's speculation that the missile that failed was Musudan, which is an intermediate range missile. And that's the one they keep having problems with. Or the older medium range Scud-ER. There was a VIP viewing stand far enough back that there were no apparent injuries. And of course, you gotta remember, earlier this month, Kim Jong-un went on a missile firing spree and did 4 at once. So, China has got to be the key in negotiating with North Korea. North Korea is not going to listen to us. We've proven that, folks. American defense officials said Tuesday that the U.S. military was expecting another Korean missile launch in the next several days. The officials said that the U.S. has increased its surveillance over the North and has detected a North Korean missile launcher being moved, as well as the construction of VIP seating in Wonsan. The North Korean state media said Sunday it conducted a ground test of a new type of high-thrust rocket engine, which it has hailed as a breakthrough for the country's space program. North Korea does not have a space program. They've launched a satellite. I don't remember if they actually got one to stay in orbit or not, but they have launched a satellite, but it was a thinly veiled ICBM test, folks. North Korea is pushing hard to upgrade its weapon systems to cope with what it calls U.S. hostility. Many of the weapons experts say that the North could have a functioning nuclear-tipped missile capable of reaching continental United States within a few years. Now, I'm going to repeat that. Many weapons experts say that North Korea, the DPRK, the People's Republic of Korea, could have a functioning nuclear-tipped missile capable of reaching the continental United States within a few years. So it is a very scary proposition. And the think tank 38 North said February satellite imagery showed the North's nuclear site continued low-level activity and a possible sign it could conduct another test soon. They're not sure. They don't know. They're not mind readers. So, North Korea, of course, said last year it mastered the ability to mount a warhead on a ballistic missile and has been ratcheting up a threat that its rivals and the United States appear powerless to contain, and that is unfortunately true. Now, while this missile did fail, any scientist will tell you, even failure, because they'll examine the debris, because this was seconds off the launch pad, so most of it is where they can gather it. Alright, let's have that Eagle Foal update, and this is by the Navy.
Explosive ordnance disposal technicians prepare for an EOD exercise with members of the Republic of Korea Navy Underwater Dive Team as part of Exercise Full Eagle 2017.
The purpose of the exercise was to work together to do mine countermeasures, underwater mine countermeasures, pretty much from finding a mine all the way to the very end of disposing the mine. The Republic of Korea, UDT and SEALs are very professional, they're very good at their job, and working with them makes everything easy. They've got the boats to do our mission with, they provided us transportation, they provided us food, they provided us a means to get back and forth from the job site, so that they made it very easy to do our job, and once we got there, we just had to do our job as divers. So I think it was a successful exercise in that we worked with ROC to get there, and we worked with ROC to accomplish the mission while we're at the site.
All right, so I've reached the bottom of the hour, folks, and you know what that means. I gotta take a commercial break, and I will see you on the other side. Just as a reminder, you can always find me on Twitter at Jessies POV.
You're listening to the Spark Radio Network, internet radio like you've never heard before. Innovation, creativity, and imagination are all said to begin with a spark. So fasten your seatbelt and take the ride of your life and listen for the spark.
You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
Hey, this is John Preston, Marine combat veteran and Pacific Records recording artist. Just reaching out to have you check out our new album, Battle Cry, Songs of America's Heroes, an album featuring phenomenal other combat veteran artists like Scott Brown of the Scooter Brown Band, Ryan Weaver, Rowdy Johnson, just an incredible mix of people. This is all veterans telling our stories and our lives, and we're giving 100% of our proceeds to the Valkyrie Initiative to help veterans and first responders integrate back into society. I myself myself have battled with post-traumatic stress for many years and lost my own brother, a Marine Corps veteran, to suicide, I ask that you step with us and make this happen. We are in pre-order right now and release on March 17th. Go to iTunes, go to Amazon, buy. We plan on making the charts and making it at a very high level, and your support right now makes a difference. This is the release of my new song, Superman Falls, which is actually about the loss of my own brother, which happened last year, and I would love for everyone to check it out, to listen, and hopefully it'll make a difference in many lives.
If you're 85 or younger, would you like peace of mind and comfort for your family? We're Final Expense Direct with an urgent message for you. The average funeral today costs over $8,000, but the most you'll get from government benefits is $255. How will your family pay the difference? We can help. Our senior plans start as low as just $1 a day and pay up to $30,000 for a funeral and other final expenses. Peace of mind is easy. There's no medical exam. You'll have lifetime coverage, and your plan can't be canceled as long as you pay your premiums. Call now for free information about our senior plans. Answer a few simple questions and receive approval right on the phone. Plus, call right now and we'll give you a discount prescription card for free. Call 800-553-8687. That's 800-553-8687. Again, 800-553-8687. 687.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it, there to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
Sometimes riders feel lost, unsure why a passage may not be working. It takes another set of eyes to help us nurture our writing into full maturity. At Black Wolf Editorial Services, we strive to enable writers to develop and grow, offering manuscript critiques and line edits through a mentoring editorial style. We also offer assistance on generating a writer's bio for your websites. Black Wolf Editorial Services, nurturing your writing into maturity. For a full list of services, visit blackwolfeditorial.com.
Here's George Foreman with InventHelp.
Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? Do you have the same questions? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp has been helping inventors for more than 30 years and has sales offices nationwide. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas. If you have an idea and want to try to patent it and submit it to companies, you should call InventHelp today for free information.
Listen, I can't guarantee a company will be interested in your idea, but I believe every inventor deserves the opportunity to step into the ring and take their best shot. Put InventHelp in your corner.
Get your free inventor's information. Call 1-800-353-6490. That's 1-800-353-6490. Again, 1-800-353-6490.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@KLRNradio.com.
Hey folks, I want to introduce you to a friend of mine, Dr. Richard Harden. We are on the same mission, which is waking up America. We just have different paths. So stay tuned for some information on how you can keep up with Richard and all his work.
Visit Richard's website at rahardin.com. That's the World Wide Web at rahardin.com. At his website, you can see a summary of the 6 books he has written, where purchases may be made. He also has a link to 18 videos on YouTube and several blogs about Christian beliefs. If you prefer, visit amazon.com/Kindle and type in Richard Harden to see and purchase his books.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps stand ready to defend the American way of life. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Alright, thank you for hanging in there with me over that commercial break. Gotta pay them bills. Just got to. Alright. Staying in the region, and I will get to the military readiness. We are going to talk South China Sea. Yes. South China Sea, Philippines, that neck of the region, folks. It all kind of ties together because who is North Korea's big brother? China. China, of course, comes out and says they are not militarizing the South China Sea. I'm sorry. What host kitty? Yeah, that's about how I feel about that one. They are militarizing the South China Sea. They can put out all the press releases they want. They are militarizing the South China Sea. I mean, why else would they have missile silos? Now, here's what they say. China's facilities, islands, or reefs are primarily for civilian purposes, even if there is a certain amount of defense equipment for facilities. It's for maintaining the freedom of navigation. And that is from Premier Lee. So, the United States estimates Beijing has added more than 3,200 acres, or for those of you needing a more universal measurement, 1,300 hectares of land. Yeah, they've been doing real-world Minecraft, folks. And of course, the United States has been conducting freedom of navigation operations in the South China Sea, which doesn't sit well with Beijing, as they've shown us. They've stolen drones out of the water. They've done all kinds of interesting things. They buzzed our ships. Yeah, they don't like us being there. The Navy has requested to conduct several Tier 3 freedom of navigation exercises, which do require White House approval. These entail sailing within 12 miles of the islands, which should signal to China they do not own the waters. That's what makes them Tier 3. Because 12 nautical miles is considered your water territory. And once you get past the 12-mile marker, you're in international waters. Several officials say those requests have not made it past Mattis's desk. So, we don't know. Well, Mattis has been in the position for more than 2 months. He doesn't have all his policy advisors because, well, Congress, read Democrats, sound like a bunch of fighting children. And they seem to let things crash and burn. All right. There are 53 presidentially appointed positions at the Pentagon. There's only one person in place. Mattis. The remainder of the positions are being filled by a mixture of Obama holdovers and civil servants. And that makes it real tough to get your job done. It really does. So, I can't blame him. I really can't. Now, moving right along. I'm not done. What? You think I'm already done? Sorry. No, I was just looking for a sound clip. I'm sorry. China is militarizing the South China Sea. However, not everybody thinks we ought to be messing around down there. Oh, yeah. President Duterte's at it again. He's blaming the United States for the South China Sea tension, saying their actions risk war. President Duterte has accused the United States of having a provocative stance on the South China Sea, adding that its previous inaction was the root cause of current tensions. The president also described U.S. Navy patrols as a miscalculation that could spark war. And of course, Obama, or Obama, pressured the Philippines to take a stand against China, but wouldn't guarantee military support. So, President Duterte makes no secret of his grudge against his country's oldest ally. In his latest outburst, he said that although America was bound by treaty to protect the Philippines, it has done nothing when China started building in the country's territorial waters. Why in bleep, America, the only one who can act there, why did it want my Navy to go there? It would be a massacre. So, like I said, it's been interesting. And yes, this was recent, but the thing of it is, we have a new commander-in-chief. Let's see what Trump does. I'd like to see him take this problem on. Now, there's a mysterious California organization claiming it represents Vietnam, and that Vietnam has lost $28 billion in a lawsuit seeking has lost the group. Untie my tongue. A mysterious California organization claiming it represents Vietnam has lost a $28 billion lawsuit seeking damages for a massive 2016 environmental disaster caused by a Taiwanese company in the South China Sea. The people living in the affected area started getting extremely sick if they ate fish and fish products, according to the complaint. The $7 billion per year fishing industry has been destroyed, leaving fishermen jobless. And he claims that the suit claims that long-term implications of health risks and birth defects remain unknown. So, yeah. And evidently this lawsuit is loaded with defects, including that he has no legal standing to sue the company in California for alleged actions committed on the other side of the planet. The Provisional National Government of Vietnam, which he claims to be part of, is not recognized by the United States, and as such cannot be so recognized by a federal court. Instead, as is readily apparent from the review of the public record, the United States recognizes and engages in diplomatic relations with the current sitting government of Vietnam, the Socialist Republic of Vietnam. And by the way, the guy that brought the suit and put all this crap together didn't show up. Yeah, fail. That's not the right fail sound effect. I need to get a better one. I just couldn't find it real quick. Moving right along, and I know I'm running out of time. I'm going to kind of gloss over the Middle East today. The battle for Mosul is ongoing. Daesh can't use vehicle-borne improvised explosive device in the narrow streets of Mosul, West Mosul, in the old city, where most of the fighting seems to be continuing. There's been a lot of on both sides. However, the U.S. has more than doubled. It's not doubled, but it has increased its airstrikes significantly, something like 133%. So, yep, the Zoomies have been at it. Now, of course, we know there's Marines there. The U.S. military, along with Kurdish forces and multi-ethnic Syrian Democratic Forces rebel group, have moved to put a stranglehold on Raqqa with shelling, with shelling, air support, and ground forces at the last route in and out of the city. Operation Inherent Resolve, the 68-nation mission to destroy Daesh, flew in fighters from the Syrian Democratic Forces, a U.S.-backed rebel group, behind enemy lines to a strategic dam. It's called the Tabikwa Dam. Seizing Tabikwa Dam will isolate Raqqa from three sides and give the Syrian Democratic Forces the strategic advantage and launching point needed for the liberation of the city. While the U.S. says they're mainly backing local forces, they seem poised to take a more active role with conventional forces fighting Daesh on the ground in Raqqa. The Pentagon has been considering sending as many as 1,000 ground troops to help take back Raqqa from Daesh, which would signal a reversal of the Obama-era policy to fight Daesh via train and equip methods and airstrikes. All right. Now, there are rumors that the battle for Raqqa is getting real hot, and the final push is going to start within days. Days. And this came from the French defense minister. And Tillerson is set to be visiting Turkey as the Raqqa operation heats up. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson will meet with senior Turkish officials in Ankara next week in talks that could be vital to an advancing U.S.-backed campaign to retake the Syrian city of Raqqa from Daesh. Turkey has been pressing the United States to drop its military alliance with the Syrian Kurdish YPG militia, which it considers part of the Kurdistan Workers' Party that has been fighting an insurgency for 3 decades in Turkey. But U.S. officials view the Kurdish fighters as key to an approaching assault on Raqqa. Instead, Turkey wants the United States to draw from the Syrian Arab rebel groups backed by Ankara for the final assault on Raqqa, which is a predominantly Arab city. So far, those proposals have failed to convince U.S. officials who are not certain that Turkish-backed Arab forces large enough or well-trained enough to handle the job. So, Tillerson's flying in to talk to him. French Defense Minister Jean-Yves Le Drian said on Friday that the battlefield for Raqqa would likely start in the coming days. What he meant by coming days, he did not elaborate. And the Pentagon has said that the United States has not decided on the composition of an American-backed assault force in Raqqa. I can promise you this. I have a feeling taking back Raqqa is going to be even harder than taking back Mosul. Because you can take back their capital, their actual capital. I don't see how they stay a formidable force. I just don't see it. All right. Secretary of Defense Mattis was at a Senate hearing on military readiness, and I got some audio from that. First, you're going to hear from Senator Durbin.
But the evidence is mounting that it's not necessarily a decade and a half of war that is straining our military, but instead a self-inflicted congressional wound called sequestration. Sequestration cuts in 2013 eliminated $35 billion from the Department of Defense base budget virtually overnight. The shockwave of these cuts, which were never, ever supposed to happen, rippled through the training, maintenance, and readiness of our military, such that the military services have estimated it will take until nearly 2020 to fully recover from sequestration.
Yes, 2020. Now, here's some of Mattis's statements during that hearing.
We must look reality in the eye. We see Russia and China seeking veto power over the economic, diplomatic, and security decisions of nations on their periphery. Terrorist groups murder the innocent and threaten peace in many regions and target us. North Korea's reckless rhetoric and provocative actions continue despite United Nations censure and sanctions. This situation calls for our department to maintain a safe and secure nuclear deterrent and a decisive conventional force that can also fight irregular enemies, since our military must be able to counter all threats facing us.
I like that. He wants the military to be able to handle it all. I like that. Peace through strength. I agree. Oh, what's that, Host Kitty? Host Kitty gives it the big meow. Alright, that wasn't the only thing Mattis had to say.
In concert with this budget request, we must also have continuity of effort that is not possible under another continuing resolution. Only an FY 2017 appropriations bill can permit us to spend the American taxpayer money judiciously and start us on the long road back to military readiness and ensure we can fight effectively. I must note there are specific readiness gaps across our forces, which I would prefer to address in closed session so as not to embolden our enemies.
All right, I like it. He's like, I know where the gaps are. I'm not telling you where anybody can get the audio from this or watch this. Sorry, Charlie. But he knows where the problems are. In my mind, that is a good sign. It means his briefers have been doing their jobs. They brought him up to speed. All right, one last clip from Secretary of Defense Mattis.
To ensure our strategy is fit for its time, we have initiated the Defense Strategy Review directed by this Congress to reimagine our strategic concepts in all areas, and we will complete the review by this fall to ensure a new framework informs our long-term planning. I know we will have to make hard choices. With the help of the Congress, I believe we can build a force that is more lethal without placing undue burden on the American economy. This will require sustained commitment from the Congress in the form of additional funding and regular, on-time budgets. Thank you for your strong support and for ensuring our troops have the resources and equipment they need to fight and win on the battlefield. I pledge to collaborate closely with you for the defense of our nation and to keep our armed forces second to none. And I will welcome your questions. Thank you.
Thank
you. Okay. Now, there's a little bit I wanted to replay from the end of that.
The Congress in the form of additional funding and regular on-time budgets.
He just called out Congress. Mattis just called out Congress for not doing their job. All right. Final story of the night. You already all know what it is. But we're doing it anyway, folks. The Department of Defense announced the death of an airman who was supporting Operation Inherent Resolve. Staff Sergeant Alexandria May Morrow, 25, of Danesville, New York, died March 22nd in Southwest Asia while performing maintenance duties in support of combat operations. She was assigned to the 366th Aircraft Maintenance Squadron, Mountain Home Air Force Base, Idaho.